All right, I fucked up. We called in David when he was supposed to be after Adam, so Adam's next. But on deck after that, we have Jessica, and then there's a few people that aren't here yet. So I'm just gonna move them on down, and we're gonna bump a few people up. So in the hole will be Nick. All right, let's give it up for Adam Resendez!
Hello. Always good to be back at Seven Stars. Last time I was here, I made use of the Han Solo and Carbonite standee in the front, and I tried to make my face as, full of the anguish and the pain that Han was feeling at the time in the movies. I don't know if anyone here has seen the movies, but really it just came out looking like I was coming. So I had my friend take a picture, and now he calls me Han Solo O-Face. So I almost didn't make it up here. I was actually in the bathroom stall with the giant cutout of Jason Momoa. Yeah, right. But don't judge me, because I think if he's cardboard, it's not gay, right? I think that's the rule. But it's 2026. We're in the Bay Area. Sexuality. It's it's a spectrum, right? Like it's a spectrum. Sexuality. It's fluid. Wait, that's not helpful. Hold on, sorry. Sexuality is what you do with your fluids. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. But always be careful, guys especially, watch what you do with your fluids. I was a little bit careless when I was younger. Let's just say that, if there's ever a murder at any movie theater in the South Bay that played The Lord of the Rings in the past 15 years, and they run a DNA test, there's a good chance I'm coming up as a suspect. But I can't help it. I love those movies. They're my favorite movies, and especially love the hero of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, who we all know is Samwise Gamgee, right? Sam, I love Sam. He's the most ride or die friend that's ever been put to film. This guy, he dove into a raging river following Frodo, even though he doesn't swim. He had 90 pounds worth of gear on his back. He went on to fight a giant spider monster, like demon spider. Oh, apparently
I hated that spider.
And after that, he just blindly charged into a fortress full of orcs, fought his way up and saved Frodo. And then he went on a fireman carrying Frodo up a giant mountain to save the world. So he's the ideal friend who we should all not only hope to have a friend like that in our lives, but also strive to be that friend in other people's lives. He's just a great friend.
Yeah.
Me on the other hand, my friend called me a couple weeks ago asking to help her move out of a studio apartment. Basically, it was just a mattress and basically like 4 boxes of Hello Kitty paraphernalia. Shout out to Hello Kitty. And being the friend I am, I told her that I broke both my arms. So now I have to avoid her for the next 3 months and post AI pictures of me in a cast on Instagram. So that's the kind of friend I am. Let's see. Let's go to so Star Wars jokes. I'm still learning how to read crowds. I'm not sure if a Star Wars joke would work here. But let's finish out on one of those. I loved Star Wars growing up. Obviously, I'm an '80s kid, and I always wish that I could have been a Jedi. That was always the dream. Some people wanted to be Darth Vader or whatever, but I always wanted to be a Jedi. But unfortunately, I wasn't Force sensitive, but I was lactose intolerant. So while Luke was out there blowing up Death Stars, I was blowing up toilets. How much time do I have left? I can do one more, I guess.
About a minute.
Okay, perfect. So I always thought it was funny in the prequels how, like, in the wisdom of the Jedi Council, they decide to put Anakin, this guy right out of his teens. They make him the bodyguard of Padme. Natalie Portman wore spandex and latex for like the entirety of the trilogy, and they spent most of the time alone together. So if I'm Anakin, I'm absolutely risking the fate of the galaxy for what he risked the face of the galaxy for. So thanks so much. I appreciate it, guys. Sorry, like I told my last girlfriend, did I finish too early?
I don't have the same problem, but it's okay.
Liar.
No, actually, I'm gifted. I can go multiple times. Plus, I like to go one-on-one